Hey guys, it's ItzGunRain here, and I am going to jump straight to the point, and I'm going to be talking about BF4 and pretty much it wrapping up its lifespan. And yes, I know there's an exception of that mystery map, and that there's still going to be a lot of players playing this because it is a true Battlefield game, unlike Hardline. Personally, I am looking forward to Hardline, and I do plan on purchasing it, but I still figured that I'd do this video to kind of wrap up my thoughts on BF4 and how it is as a game. So I want to start off here by talking about the guns, and I'm going to be doing a lot of comparisons from BF3 to BF4. The guns, I have to say, they feel a lot more solid, and they feel like they hit a lot harder in BF4 compared to BF3. Now, whether that's it takes a little bit longer to kill, so you kind of notice it more, or that the recoil is more manageable, I don't know. But it just feels like the guns hit a little bit harder, and I like that because in Battlefield 3, one thing is they felt, the bullets just felt a little bit floaty, and they didn't feel like they really kicked all that hard, which wasn't game breaking, but when you play a game where when you hit someone, it really feels like you hit them compared to when you are firing at them and it's like it's doing damage, but it's just like little pellets. There's a difference in how the game feels and how rewarding kills actually can be. The gun choice, I think, is pretty good. It's different enough from Battlefield 3 to not feel like it's too much of a copy and paste. There's definitely the same weapons there from us, F2000. Luckily, there's no M16A3. There's an M16A4, but it is definitely not an M16A3. I think that most of the guns were balanced. I think LMGs made a great comeback. Now they're useful, and you can actually use them in somewhat competitive nature compared to the assault rifles, but they still have their weaknesses, but they have their strength as well. PDWs feel good, assault rifles feel good, SMGs feel good. DMRs, I personally think, were kind of ruined in this game. They just didn't feel like they hit hard enough, in my personal opinion. Snipers did, they felt like they hit harder, but I still, in my personal opinion, like the Battlefield 3 sniping more, but that's because I think I put a lot more time into it and mastered it. Pistols, I think the widest movement of pistols is better in that you can use attachments. I like that, but they did ruin the 44 Magnum, which I was highly disappointed about, because as my favorite gun in Battlefield 3, I had the most kills with it. It was just the most rewarding feeling to get that one-shot headshot. And you can't really replicate that. Rocket launchers is a larger assortment than Battlefield 3, which I am all for. And I love the SHRA. The SHRA is too much fun. I actually have a video posted a couple months ago of a little compilation of SHRA shots that I pulled off, and let me just say I am damn proud of it. Now I'm going to talk about maps. Personally, in Battlefield 4, no map really is going to stand out, but if I had to choose one, it had to be Flood Zone. I just really loved the flow of that map, how it had the vertical gameplay where you could either be fighting up on the roofs, you could get on top of the skyscrapers, or you could be down on the ground fighting either in boats or on foot, depending on whether the dam was broken or not. But other than that, I really felt that most of the maps were just, they weren't anything to stand out. Off the top of my head, I can't really remember many that I'm gonna remember. Like, if Battlefield 5 comes out, if and when Battlefield 5 comes out, I'm not gonna go back and be like, oh, I missed this map. And as I said, if there's one map I had to choose, it's definitely gonna be Flood Zone. And now we're gonna move on to the vehicles. How I thought the vehicles felt? Well, I think I'm not a big vehicle user, and I haven't really mastered any. I've been trying to learn how to use them all, just because that's what you have to do in Battlefield. So I don't really want to comment too much on this, so don't weigh too much on it. But I think the vehicles felt good. It might have just been me, but tanks felt a little bit weaker. And I finally learned how to fly the Little Bird and the Attack Chopper, and damn are those things very useful. Jets, I have to also say, they are pretty damn powerful. A lot of customization for vehicles, and just a lot of customization all the way around. But I thought the element played out well, and other than that, I think that it was done really well. So I don't want to say too much more on vehicles. I'm not a big vehicular user, but other than that, I think that they were balanced well, and they did feel like you had an advantage when you were in them. Now I'm going to talk about balance. Balance, I think, was done really good in this game because DICE has this rock paper scissors balancing system that they like to go off, where say the AK will kill you from a distance really well compared to an AEK, but the AEK will wreck someone with an AK at short range. So it kind of blends strengths and weaknesses to really see who will come out on top, which I think is a good system because it really can cater to how you like to play your game. Vehicles were balanced. There were a few overpowered gadgets, not overpowered but annoying gadgets such as the UCAB and mortar, that I think they could have balanced better, but it could have been worse. So I think that balancing is a pretty high score on that one. Now I'm going to talk about longevity. Longevity of Battlefield 4 is going to be about twice as long as Battlefield 3, and here's my reason why. Since Hardline is coming out in a week now, it's gonna be a hit or miss for most of the Battlefield community, where you're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. And Battlefield 4 is probably gonna be the true Battlefield game for the next 2 years. So I think that there will still be plenty of people playing this game, and I think the population will stay high. Personally, I'm gonna be getting Hardline because I played the beta and I enjoyed the hell out of it, and I had a lot more fun in the beta than I did in pretty much all my experience with Battlefield 4, and maybe it's just because it's a nice change of pace and it didn't feel like a... I'm not going to say BF4 is a reskin, but it was definitely a nice change of pace, kind of like how I imagine Bad Company 2 was for Battlefield fans. But I think Hardline has a good chance. I think you should really consider getting it, especially if you played the beta and enjoyed it. So here are my final thoughts on Battlefield 4. I think if you have 30 bucks to throw down, I think you should definitely get it. It's worth picking up, and it's still a really fun game, even though it has its problems, which, at least in the latest update, have pretty much been fixed. DICE is still very active on this game, and you have to know that they're still fixing stuff, they're still bouncing, they're removing, they're adding. They're just putting a lot of intention into it 2 years into its lifespan. So that's good, and I think that this game will last another 2 years. I think DICE knows that people are going to play this if they want true Battlefield. But if I had to give it a rating, I'd say a 7 out of 10, and I'd say it's a fun game, but Levolution was not the selling point they should have used. They need to be more creative than that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a great day. Peace out. Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.